What's up everyone? So wanna do a breakdown of two trades and talk a bit about news trading and why news trading can be a very good thing. Now for most people they when they trade news like CPI, NFP, FOMC, they usually blow their accounts. Why? Because they try to trade every single news. So every news is like an opportunity to make money or lose money. And now recently a lot of prop firms have added this to their rules. So what they did is they put a time window between, when there's a red folder news like CPI, NFP, you cannot take a position like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I've even seen 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after you cannot close. So that's just another way to avoid paying out people that gamble on news or have good trades on news, which I don't really agree on, because news is just a kick in volatility for price to move in the higher time frame direction. And I've been banned, like last week I've been banned on a prop firm because I traded news on 2 challenge phases. So I traded news every time because that's when the setup happened, right? I've been in a trade for like hours before, and then news kicked in, my take profit got hit, and I passed the challenges, and they said that's gambling and they banned me, which again is just another rule to fail you. And because when news happen, that's just volatility kicking in. Like, why are we not allowed to make profits? And also they only deduct the profits that you make from trading news. So again, how is that fair that okay, you can't trade, but if you do trade, all your profits will be deducted, but your losses will remain, right? It doesn't make sense. It's just another rule to be against the traders, which sucks obviously, but there's nothing we can do about it, right? So I want to break down 2 trades that actually happened during news. So first was April 5th. These trades were given inside my private mentorship, let's call it, advanced member. If you go on wap.com/nfx, you can access my course, my trading course, my community, my daily analysis, and some trade ideas that I have. Again, no signals, no financial advice. It's just some trade ideas that I do have. But let's take a look on EU on 5th of April. So was somewhere around here. So let's go here. Now it was right after, this was the drop. So EURUSD sells. Now my bias was pretty clean. This was NFP Friday. So again, NFP is pretty volatile, but if you don't know when to enter, why to enter, you have a good stop loss, you have your statistics made, because that's very important. I'm going to talk about that. But we had the imbalance on the 4-hour, price reacted. So very simple. My trading is very psychological. So I think a lot of the trading setups and why I take them, right? I don't have all the fancy stuff on my charts. It's very simple. So 4-hour imbalance, equal highs, liquidity being taken, obvious downtrend, price pumped before and then gave a nice reaction. 1 hour did create a break of structure. So here we changed the order flow from bullish to bearish. Once we broke below these lows, we came down. So I was expecting that pattern to respect itself and continue to the downside. So all that was left was wait for the perfect timing and the volatility kick, which again will come when NFP kicks in, right? That's just gonna happen. That's when the volatility is gonna come in. So that's when I basically want to enter. So we entered EU sells at the timing 3:20 p.m. So it was right when price, I was watching Asia session, created a range, nothing much. London pushed up, gave a nice reaction, then before NFP price started pushing up. So that's when I was like, all right, let's execute this trade. It looks very, very good. So when price came up here, that was our entry. I'm just gonna copy or probably have the screenshot on the screen also. So this was the entry price. Stop loss was here. It doesn't work. Stop loss was 750, and I'm gonna say again why that is. And we closed. Obviously, our take profits is first take profit is 1 to 1, second is 1 to 2. Why was my stop loss so big? Why was it 30 pips? Because I made some statistics looking at NFP on EURUSD for the past years, and I've noticed that when higher time frame trend is bearish, the usual spike in the opposite direction, the usual liquidity spike is around 15 to 20 pips max. So that's why I did 30 pips, which was a bigger stop loss. But I wanted to also cover some of this area right here. Hope you can see it. Yeah, some of this area right here. So bigger stop loss, but again, my target was 1 to 1 and then see how price behaves. So price went immediately to take profit one, and this is where I started to watch price action. It wasn't a big drop, it was only like 30 pips, so I kept watching, and then I called the close at 404. After New York true open, I called the close around 1.6%. That's where I closed, and as you can see, if I were to keep holding to take profit one, take profit two, it will have never been hit and will just have been a break-even hit and then a stop loss. So why did I call the early close? Because when you see New York true open happening after news, usually it creates a low, so it gives an impulse, and then if it doesn't continue and price starts to range, it usually signals a full reversal. So that's where when price came down, I closed and I decided to be done with it. And as you can see, let's go forward, price started to go up again, and you would eventually, you know, instead of taking profit, you would have been a break even or hoping that price comes back down and you would be hit with the stop loss, which sucks. And we also had gold sales. So during NFP that day, I still remember it because it was such a pain in the ass. So here, 5th of April, we also had gold sales because it was looking nice. Price was took liquidity from this Asia high, had a nice reversal during Asia. Price started to go up. So I was kind of eyeing that reversal also, so I entered gold sales and I called it 2293, and for this one we had a big stop loss. It was a 200 pip stop loss, which again, I don't know why I played it so safe, because it was like the first trade of April, so I wanted to play it safe, go for 1-to-1, but the stop loss was way too big. And as you can see, we had the initial move down, so let's go back here, and this is like top-notch risk management. NFP came in very nicely, dropped, didn't want to continue, and price started rejecting the lows. And again, I do watch price action on lower time frames. 1 minute, as you can see, came down, nice impulse, and then came right back up. And at this point, if it doesn't continue lower, it usually won't. So when price finally decided to didn't want to create lower structure and start to go up, this is the point where I was watching to see if it closed, if I should close. This is where I closed EU also, and when price created a new high right here and then started to go down back to my entry point, that's when I called the gold closure. So we closed as a minor, like a few pips in drawdown or at break even, which is all right, right? And because I was happy with the EU gain, which was like a 1.5%, 1.8% gain, there was no point in keep like holding gold. And as you can see, it was the right call because price just pumped, right? So now let's move on to CPI, which was such a great move. So this was obviously last week, Wednesday, 10th of April, same thing. So my bias was, you know, we had the retracement zone on the 4 hour, the optimal trading range 0.60 to level 0.7 level. We had the 4 hour imbalance right here, the flip zone where price pumped up and then came down, so that's a nice area. We had liquidity here, so that was nice. Price came into that area after NFP, so NFP was this move which was corrected and then created a new high. So I was kind of expecting and targeting NFP's low, because I've seen this happen quite a lot of times where NFP gives a move, pumps in the opposite direction, and then the next red news, which is usually CPI, just continues the move. So it's just a big liquidity grab. So that's what happened here, and as you can see, same exact idea why I like trading news with these specific setups. Price came into my area, have the higher time frame bearish bias. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the right timing and choosing the right pair, because I have the same bias on AU, GU, gold, because that's the pairs that I trade. GU just looked better because, as I said, my target was NFP's low. So GU with the proper stop loss would give me 4% for R, while EU was around 2.5 R for the same NFP low. So in my opinion, GU was a better risk reward. Stop loss was pretty nice. Usual average spike on GU was around 25 pips, 20 pips, 21 pips, but 25 the max. So I had 32.5 just to cover that imbalance. And the entry was right just about timing. So our entry was 3:23, so it was 7 minutes before news. Was watching the structure. We had a New York high, price reacting nicely here, and obviously before news price is gonna bump in the opposite direction, which is what happened here. London came up, liquidity being built, pretty straightforward. We had a break of structure to the downside confirming, and then the liquidity grab just before news. So it's a perfect entry. We had a stop loss 32.5 pips, that was the stop loss, and then our take profits, again take profit 1 is 1 to 1 always, TP2 is 1 to 2, and then the final take profit is the final higher time frame target. So in this case, wasn't looking at closing at 1 to 1 or 1 to 2. I was just going for the max, the last target, because I had so much confidence in it. And as you can see, price came very, very nicely, straight drop. Which again, even if you trade news, so this is a point that I want to say, even if you have the trading news rule, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you don't want to close 3 minutes after news. That's just FOMO, right? I've seen it multiple times where you have a trade running into news is very volatile, it moves in your direction, and people just close immediately and they don't let price to run. Usually if the bottom is in for the news, it's gonna happen like 5 minutes, 10 minutes after you're gonna see the full reversal, if it does happen. Until then, price is just gonna keep going your way, so there's no point in closing after. So that rule is not, I mean, right, unless you have a very small target, but usually price just runs. So you can see it ran right past take profit 1, right past take profit 2, and at 332 around this low here, I closed 80%. So and I called it also. So 80% at 2.72R, and then later 20% more run to final take profit, which was hit for a 1-2. Absolutely smashed it, and absolutely amazing targets on point, which was great. So, and you can see price did continue. We did have further sales that would have been very nicely. 4 hour just continued to drop hard towards the next zone. So this 4 hour low was supposed to be the next target, and then this imbalance here where price is reacting from. But we should see a switch in bullish structure very soon. So guys, I wanted to make this breakdown video just to show you how I'm not a news trader, I'm not a gambler, but sometimes you have such clean setups during news, and you know news is gonna be volatile, so it's gonna go in your way. If it does, if it doesn't, you're gonna get spiked out, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna get slipped with a 30 pip stop loss, that's almost impossible. But yeah, it just shows that news trading can be helpful when you're waiting for that extra kick in volatility. If I have a week, for example, where I know Thursday we're gonna have some red folder news, I just know that the move is gonna happen on Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're gonna see manipulations, liquidity weeks, and all of that. And I don't want to participate in it. So I'd rather just wait for news, execute before, and see if my direction is right. So hope you guys enjoyed this quick breakdown video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below, and join wop.com/nfx.